Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a new midweek update. It is the calm for the storm. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget to strap in, because today we're going to discuss a few interesting things. For example, the PCE data. Of course, you guys like numbers, so we're going to talk a little bit of numbers today, because those numbers are in the end very important for the price action. But why? Why do I say calm before the storm? Well, because it does feel like it is the calm before the storm. And let me directly bring up the chart so you can see what I'm really talking about. So let's start with Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is really what it is all about now. Bitcoin. Bitcoin. Welcome, Zerka. Welcome, Blockchain Brew. Well, here we've got something we don't really often use on the channel, but it is very important, and it's the Bollinger Bands. The Bollinger Bands. And the last few days, you can see that here, the Bollinger Bands are now tightening and tightening and tightening. They become closer and closer and closer. So what this means is that right now we're spring loading the Bitcoin chart. It is now all coiling down. And in the end, there should be one big storm coming to the upside or to the downside. To the upside or to the downside. But overall, I don't think it will be to the downside. And why don't I think it will be to the downside? Well, I think I saw Kevin coming in. Kevin saying, well, I'm afraid of a double top for Bitcoin. Well, what double top? I don't see any double top for Bitcoin myself. Don't be afraid, Kevin. It's all programmed to go a bit higher. I'm not saying it's going to 400,000 this year, but Bitcoin will go higher. And I like these ranges here. So we got a flag pattern here. Do you see the flag? So a flag is typically something like this. American flag, Dutch flag, rainbow flag, whatever. It's all flag. So this is a perfect example of a rainbow flag. And I do have a target there as well. And my target for Bitcoin is a break to the upside, not one to the downside. So I do believe that soon, don't know when, but soon, we'll get a breakout to about 135 to 136k. We keep creating flags. You can see it here as well. We got a flag here. Bit of a crooked flag, but it's a flag nevertheless. That was a big flag. And it did bring us up. It did definitely bring us up as well. So guys, I'm waiting for their breakout for Bitcoin. That's the big thing. Gastro Fox, welcome. The Slovenian flag. I think is that the Slovenian flag today? Welcome, guys. Welcome. Overall, I've seen a few people tell me, what Coin Baron Cronos is doing so bad. It's so bad. Guys, it's not doing all too bad. Consider where we are coming from. Where are we coming from? Well, 8 cents. Today we're going to close the month of July. Let me quickly bring up a monthly candle here. Oh, this is, by the way, interesting. We're going to talk about this in a minute. But where is my rainbow chart? Rainbow, hello? Rainbow? No? Logarithmic. There we go. I'm going to remove this for a sec. But let's go to the monthly candles now. And let's remove the Bollinger Band. I think you guys have seen why the Bollinger Bands are interesting. They are coiling down now. That means we're getting to that final rip to either the downside or the upside. But overall, I think a rip to the upside is more likely than a rip to the downside. But beautiful candle so far. Beautiful monthly close today. Beautiful. Sub XGen, welcome. This candle is huge, by the way. About 70%. And it reminds me also a bit about, these were two candles, but a bit of the same effect. Also, this move here, I think together, we're also about 70% or even 90%. So I do believe, guys, we're still in about this part of the cycle. We have had the two waves. Some would even say three. But we have had the major moves. Now it's time for that final move. That final move to that new all-time high. That new all-time high. That's what we're waiting for, guys. So don't forget to strap in, hit that like button, and Get prepared. Get prepared. I do want to say though, I added this little thing here. I added this little thing. And why did I add this little projection here? I added it to show you guys that we are getting close to the point in the cycle, or close to the point really in, it's a bit later, more like this here. Getting very close to maybe a potential dip as well, if we are going to copy the previous cycle. And that wouldn't be all too bad, consider where we are coming from. 70% up in 1 month, that's quite crazy. So this projection might bring us down 30%. 30%? Unfortunately, that's part of the bull market. If we go down 30% from this point onwards, we already, by the way, went about 10% down. So we don't have to go an additional 10%, but let's say we're going to do that. Then we're going to about 10 cents as well. That is if we're going to follow this projection. But of course, guys, history doesn't necessarily repeat. It doesn't necessarily repeat today. How's Crow looking on Market Cipher? I don't use Market Cipher SCAR. I think it's not the best indicator personally. I do believe that, yeah, Black Sea uses it. Black Sea uses it, I think. But the green dots, the red dots, whatever they use, it's by the way a paid tool as well, Market Cipher, and I don't think it's worth your money. But that's my personal opinion. Zelinka, welcome. Strap in. V8 Freak, welcome as well. I see Fit in Crypto. Blockchain Brew, guys, check them out. Random Midwest, hello, that's Crow. QBE. And Sabadovs, hello, guys. And Blaze as well, welcome. Overall, guys, the monthly close will be quite bullish. I'm happy to see that. Regarding the shorter time frame, we're seeing some interesting things happen now. We have this breakout. You can see here we have this, well, this triangle, this descending triangle. And we had a breakout to the upside. You can see we broke out here of this structure. And now it might seem bearish. We're retesting here this line, this vertical line. But this retest is actually quite bullish. It happens quite often that we escape a certain structure and then retest it to finally bounce up from a point onwards. It's a bit of speculation though. It's really short term, guys. The 4-hour candles here. But it isn't looking all too bad. Considering where we are in the cycle. Bitcoin though is the big question mark at this point. It is the big question mark. And let me remove that Bollinger Band though. So you can see at least, guys, on every chart for Bitcoin, it is just getting so close to the Crow Bears. I think yesterday or today we went to 15 cents. We touched 15 cents, like 14.9999, and today we did it again, like just a few hours ago. So this is part, guys, of volatility now. Crow is becoming super volatile, and we had the exact same thing. We had the exact same thing also in the pre-bull period. You can see here. Let's zoom into July and also August of 2021, just before we went to about that $1 level. You can see here, I think I even have to go to a different chart, maybe even better. But you can see we go up about 12%. And the next day we dump about 10% as well. 8% down, 9% down. Up another, what is it? I don't know. 8%. And we go down another, what is it? Even 20% here. It is getting to that volatile phase in the cycle. You see it happening again and again and again. But what I hope to see though is that we are now at least are going to, like here in 2021, use this blue line as support. The blue line is the 200-day, the 200-day simple moving average. And where are we now? Well, we are way above the 200-day simple moving average. If we remove this here, you can see that the 200-day is all the way down here. And it's slowly going up. The 200-day is a long-term moving average. And the 50 days moving up a bit quicker. short term here, long term here. I wouldn't really mind if we maybe retest the 50-day at some point. And once this is going parabolic as well, then we can also try to retest the 200-day. In the 2021 cycle though, we tested it I think once there, you can see here. Ooh. You can see we tested it here a few times, the 200-day. But the final test here, we tried to break below it. The final test sent us flying. It sent us flying all the way to $1. Did not test it anymore. The only test we did have was a small test here for the 50-day. Peter Jan, welcome. I might be running a bit behind. I have a Ruby Red Crow card for 2 years now. But now I can only spend $500 in a month to get Crow. And there is like a limit, I think $25 limit. That has been the case for about 3 years now, Peter Jan. But yeah, they changed it. Previously, there was unlimited cashback. And if you get the credit card, in the US only, unfortunately, you get the credit card, there is unlimited cashback. If you don't have the credit card and you get the Ruby Red or the Jade Green, there is unfortunately limited cashback. I think it is 25 for Ruby and 50 for Jade, starting from the Icy White. So starting from the Icy White, the cashback is unlimited. So this one and this one, Jade, Indigo, $50 max. $50 max. Yeah, to answer the question also by Blaze, can we go back to the 10-cent range? I think 10 cent at this point is getting a bit unlikely. I think 12 cent is definite support. I think 12 cent might be the lowest we will go this cycle anymore. I had a big buy at about 11 cents, 11.90. But yeah, I think if you take a look also at the chart, you see a big support line here at 12. So 12 cents, this green line, I think that's going to be the ultimate support line. But let's see though, let's see. Remember guys, no financial advice, always do your own research. At this moment though, like what we're doing now, we do see a bit of a dump now for Bitcoin. We do see Bitcoin going towards $116,000. And I think it's okay. I think this line now is very important that we hold 16.5. If you hold 16.5, we can easily continue this flag pattern like we talked about in the beginning of the stream. What's your favorite indicator? My favorite indicator is depends on what you want. Like if you talk about like what's the cycle peak, I love, for example, the 200 week moving indicator, moving average indicator. That's great. The rainbow chart is great. For short-term momentum switches, like going from bullish to bearish, MACD is great. Bollinger Bands as well, I use them. But overall averages, can we hold? If we bounce on a certain average, it's the best. Samurai, welcome. Okay, we got some news here today by Mr. Blockchain Brew, or the Blockchain Crew. According to them, the Zero token is good on Market Cypher. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I guess in a green dot. So buy. No financial advice. No financial advice. What I hate to see though is that also now on the weekly, and this is by the way not really bad guys, but we have a small red week here. A small red week so far for Crow Bitcoin. And that's okay. That's all okay. I still believe we can follow this W pattern here. You can see we kind of double bottomed here on the trend line we set a while back. So we might have this double bottom now, and that could bring us back to this range here. 0.00002 Bitcoin per Crow. Lot of zeros, but basically Crow Bitcoin, it is still very cheap. But I do believe we have bottomed. I do believe, guys, we have bottomed. That's a good thing. ETH US dollar is kind of struggling a bit. Hate to see it. Hate to see ETH struggling now. But this also needs to close another week above the 3,800 level, and then we can fly. Like, the week is not over, guys. Yeah, it's not over yet, so seems good. Also the day, maybe we can close today also above this line. That would be very, very good for Ethereum. The day has about, I think, 4 more hours left. 4 hours more left on the almost 5 hours left on the daily candles here. We can definitely still flip this a bit more bullish. Pete, welcome. Good evening, Crow fam. Anyone notice the hash ribbon indicator has fired off for Bitcoin? That's one I haven't heard in a long time. For anyone that wonders, so Bitcoin is mined. Bitcoin is mined. And what determines kind of how much is being mined is the hash rate. Basically the amount of calculations they do with the Bitcoin miners to solve the blocks. And the more we have, the higher the hash rate becomes. So they have an indicator built basically on how much the miners are doing. What the miners are doing. And in the past, the hash ribbons have been indicators of tops. So very interesting. Hey, Bjorn the Bullish Bear, welcome. Also serious. You're amazing just for sticking strong and believing. Man with soul. I don't hear often that gingers like me do have soul, so thank you, sir. I strap in for that one. I strap in for that one. Yeah, but guys, it's very simple, right? It's very simple. I've seen this tweet today about somebody saying, well, this man, he bought this meme coin at $500,000. $500,000 market cap. Very, very low market cap token. He only sold at 5 billion. 5 billion from 500 market cap to 5 billion. You have balls of steel because you make 10x on 10x on 10x and you keep holding to your token. That man became a billionaire because he has conviction. He thought about something, he saw, okay, this has potential. It was a meme coin, so it was very risky, but maybe he just bought with a few, I don't know, few $100 back then though. But if you hold on to your conviction long enough, it can play out. Make sure though that the bull case, the fundamental bull case for your conviction makes sense. And for Crow, it makes total sense. At least my 2 cents here. My 2 cents. Crow will melt faces. I do believe so as well. I do believe so as well. Okay, according to Pete, I said something wrong here. The old Indigo card had a $50 max, but the new ones have a 75. The 50k card is the gold standard. I think that's basically as high as you should go. I don't think the Obsidian card is worth it. Maybe except if you do like business. If you have a business and you have a lot of cash left and you can do maybe your business purchases with the card, maybe consider getting a Obsidian. Is it 8% or is it 5%? I think it's 8%, right? 8% cashback. That's not bad. If I spent more than $500, they give me no more cashback. Before it was up to like $2,500. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but I would say, Peter Jan, try to get your spending down and buy more Crow instead of spending. Ay. Is it $500 though? Nah, no way. If you spent, I think you spent, no, it's impossible almost. Peter Jan, quick question. Do you get the curve card? I think it's $1,000. It has to be $1,000. The cashback is 2.5%. The limit is $25. So $1,000. Marty, welcome. Strap in, my dude. Strap in. Action might see a flash crash to 12 because we are somewhat oversold on the daily. Let me check the daily chart quickly, guys. Overall, my structures are still holding. We can see that our overall uptrend, that we started at about 12 cents here, is still holding strong. We haven't closed any 4-hour candle or any daily candle below this line. So that's very strong in my opinion still. It only depends kind of on what Bitcoin does. So Bitcoin, if Bitcoin is going to dump like big time, Pro will follow. And how low can Bitcoin go? Well, I wouldn't be surprised if Bitcoin goes down to like this line here. You can see here, the 50-day. We tested it here as well, the 50-day. We tested the 50-day and then we started moving upward. So maybe we continue this pattern for a bit more. We maybe go down a bit more like this. I don't know. And the 50-day continues. It has a touch and we move up. A bit of speculation, of course, but you can see it can take a long time. It took how many days here? 48 days. That's crazy, isn't it? It's just getting boring now. It's getting boring. How can we say that? We have to wait for about 2 months and then it moves again. Like, we have the patience of a goldfish. It's crazy in crypto. You're welcome, Eska. What's your favorite indicator? VDG likes to use the red candles, the Heiken candles, the RSI. Oh, you see a Crow US dollar weekly red candle. Is that? I think it might be slightly red. Let me check. The month though, guys, is beautiful. Beautiful monthly candle. Beautiful monthly candle for Crow so far. Is the week red? Maybe slightly. I need to check. It's a slight red candle. This is not really meaning sell, sell, sell. Why do I say that? Well, ooh. We had a bit of a red candle here. You see that? That wasn't the sell sign. That was a... well, you have to buy more sign. This is discount. It could be a bit more like this. If we like continue the dip, we could maybe get one big candle, but didn't expect it at this point. Also, it tested about 12 cents though. Would also correspond to about this line here. Wouldn't surprise me. But yeah, this candle, guys, it can still flip. It can still even flip about this line. This line has been all resistance so far. You can see here the blue line. The blue line is the 50 week. The 200 week. The 200 week. Really, one of the two. Up or down. 200 week has been all resistance so far. We did fly above it shortly here, but also here it got rejected twice. Hey, Luca, welcome. How much money can you withdraw on the ATM? You have to go look at to the app, and in the app, it does mention like fees and limits and fees. I think it's in the settings somewhere. I don't know. I never withdraw with the crypto.com card. I maybe tried it once, but do you still use cash? I haven't paid cash in a long time. Assuming the hash ribbon indicator is a successful indicator this time around, then I would expect to see a pullback to about 110. And then in theory, it is upwards from there. Interesting. The only issue I have is with these proven indicators like the hash ribbon. Oh, we're looking, by the way, at the RSI, the weekly RSI. Let me check. But the issue with the proven indicators is that they are kind of getting, you know, known. People start to know about them, and then they trade the opposite direction. Hey, that's interesting, by the way. On the weekly was definitely not oversold yet. You can go a lot higher on the weekly, so this is good. This is some good pullback. Take a look at the daily quickly. Yeah, the daily is still now overbought. You can see it's above this line. It's still green. But soon I do believe we might cool down enough to call this no longer oversold or overbought. Balls of Steel. Do you still have a bag, Aioli? I think I also got a bag. I think I bought some with the moon token. Let's see though. Stacy, welcome, welcome. Good to see ya. How is the overall trend though? I think we're still in an uptrend as well if you take a look at this. We are definitely in an uptrend. Wow. So this, guys, is logarithmic, so it's not the perfect one, but you can see we are still in this upward trend. So let's just continue on this trend line. Let me quickly check. I haven't seen this before, so let me check if it was the same in 2021. I think we continued on that same line also for a long time. Yeah, okay. At some point we escape, but interesting. We continue on this trend line for a long time. And then finally we get like something ridiculous like this. Even that one was holding on for quite a while. You can see here, touch, touch, touch. Yeah, this is truly parabolic though. Oh, anyways, I think enough talk about charts for now. Okay, one more thing. Somebody asked me recently regarding Euro US dollar. And I want to bring up the following. So what we have now is that Euro US dollar is falling a little bit, just a little bit. And why is that? Why is that the case now? Well, take a look at this here. The DXY, the US dollar index. It is going back up again. I think, for example, the trade deal between the EU and also the US, that was highly favorable for the US. So a lot of weakness now in the European zone, the EMA zone. European Economic, or the EEM. The EEA is European Economic Area. But yeah, now the dollar is mooning. It's basically going up again. So I don't know what this DXY will do. Typically, I like to see it go down. So maybe we get a rejection at exactly that 100 level. This line here is 100. So if we do that, beautiful. Continue going down. Bitcoin will moon. Euro US dollar will go down. But yeah, I might be holding my US dollars though for the moment. Somebody was asking, well, what will you do? Will you? I have to use euros here. I have to use euros. Will I hold my dollars a bit longer? Potentially. Let's see what the DXY though will do. We'll talk about it also in the time to buy video, so don't forget to strap in and hit the like button. Will Mary do a 10x from here? I don't know. Not really into the meme coins, Mr. TDF Blast. I think though that Crow can do a 10x, and if Crow is still the main pair for Mary, well, so will Mary. Peter's targeting for the icy white. The rewards for the obsidian aren't worth the extra stake Crow. I agree there. Especially because the jump is so big. You go from like, what is it, 50k to 500k, and the rewards are only 3% more. In the past, I think you got like private jet discount or anything like that. That was cool. But I think we don't have it anymore. The private jet discount. So just keep it to the icy white. My personal take here. The obsidian is pure swag. If you have the money, pure swag. Ah, well, the prime card, that's the pure swag. True that, guys. Let's talk a bit more about some news, though, ladies and gentlemen. So we have some news. Because, have you seen this yet? This is the CME, the CME Fat Watch, and this has completely shifted. For the month of September. So we just had an FOMC meeting. I think it was yesterday. And today we had some more news regarding inflation. The inflation numbers, PCE. Price consumer, I don't know, expensives, or PCE is inflation, basically. Have things gotten more expensive in the US, yes or no? And basically what they mentioned in the PCE numbers is, yes, everything has become more expensive and more expensive than expected as well. So inflation is going up. We have seen a bit of a trend emerging. So not a one-off, no, a bit of a trend. Especially because also the inflation numbers for the month of May, and I also believe for the month of June, they have been retroactively been up to a higher level. So we have more inflation than previously mentioned. So this, guys, is fuel for people like Jerome Powell to keep the interest rates high. That's also why now at this point they say 60% chance for a higher, or well, still a rate pause, nothing. And lowering is what we need. The lower the number here, the lower the interest rates, the more money people have to spend. Think about this, guys. This number, for example, the interest rate by the Fed, that is a big driver, for example, for the mortgage rates. If this goes down, typically also mortgage rates can go down a lot more. And people have more money to spend in that case. Less on mortgage, more on crypto. That's the overall effect. Of course, it's not people spending less on mortgages and therefore crypto's going up. No, it's the whole market is also anticipating a bit of a rate cut, and therefore it's hype plus also the economic effect of it together. But unfortunately now, they expect this to not happen in September. That was the base case so far. September, the 17th of September, rate cut. Now we're targeting a rate cut in October. Having said that, guys, we still have about 1.5 months left. 1.5 months left, so things can definitely change. We'll see though. It is still very, very aggressively high, the interest rate, especially if you compare it to the EU. So very interesting to see what's going to happen on that front as well. It's not necessarily bearish, but that's definitely the reason why yesterday we had a bit of a flash crash. Not only for crypto, you can see it here very clearly though. You go to the 5-minute chart, what happened, guys? It was crazy. I think we were sitting at about 15 cents. Oh, this was it. I think it was here. Remove the Bollinger Bands, please. A very quick move, down about 7% for Crow after the news of the no rate cut. 7% down. Same thing also for the stock market. I think I can quickly bring up now the not the BNB token. BNB token, by the way, this week hit a new all-time high. Congratulations, guys, at Binance. Amazing job. But if I bring up Microsoft just actually launched a bit more data regarding their regarding their numbers. I have to go to the 4-hour chart. You can't even see it here, but you can see that after the news of the maybe the hour one, the Microsoft team, they launched their revenue data for this quarter, and you can see that after that news we got one big spike to the upside here for Microsoft, but now we are retracing a bit more. The overall stock market is not really having its day, but it's still up 3%. It is still up 3%, so nothing to share with the S&P 500, SPX. Still doing good. Still doing very, very good. Today, though, the last few days, it seems so strange here. Seems so strange. But yeah, the last few days have been red, but overall, it is still at the highest levels ever for the US stock market. So the S&P, but I think also the Dow Jones. Crypto Runner got the J Cream card upgrade and is working towards Rose Gold. Why Rose Gold? Why not Icy White? Yeah, it's cool though. Even if your crow's locked in a card, Crypto.com will still let you upgrade the card with the locked crow. And even better, Crypto Runner. Let's say you now have 100,000 crow locked for that card. And you only need 75,000. You only need 75,000 for the upgrade to go from Jade Green to the Icy White or Rose Gold. The 25 that you previously had locked will now be unlocked. And the example, for example, is if you bought 5,000 $5,000 worth of Crow at 5 cents. If we then go to the $1 mark, we made a 20x. So you can get the upgrade. You can get an upgrade to the new card from, for example, Ruby Red to the Icy, to the J Green. And you can unlock the other 50% or whatever. You can sell it, you can move it, you can, I don't know, stake it again. Whatever you want to do. Whatever you want to do. I do believe, guys, we have hit a bit of a bottom today. We are getting close to a bit of a bottom now, which is very nice. This is a 5-minute chart, so again, very, very short term. If you have any leverage positions open, I do believe it's a potential opportunity here to get back in it. So far, we've seen a lot of these moves, up 5%, down 5%, up 5%, down 5%. But I was really hoping, I was looking here at the chart. This was interesting a few hours ago. We went up to about, I think it was 15 cents. Exactly 15 cents. At least depending on what exchange you were trading at. We went to 15 cents. We were retracing a bit, but then also going back up to about 14 cents 90. But unfortunately, we had a breakdown. We got so close. We got so close to 15 cents again. Well, yeah, I think we need a bit more time. We need a bit more time, but as we talked about, we are still in this uptrend, so nothing all too bad, I would say. Nothing too bad. Really interesting to see here how it's nicely following this growth line. At some point, though, I do believe it will break, like what we've seen here. It might break shortly, but then we can still continue the move upward. The ICE is 10k in general, 800 without a fee. You can get $10,000 from the ATM. That's quite a bit. Dubious speculation on my part, but I think we might see Crow cool off between like 10 cents and 11 cents 50. Then we're off to 20 cents and hopefully higher. Interesting you say 10.6, I think, because how low did we get here? This dip also, we went to about 14 cents, or no, 13 cents. And went as low as, yeah, also 10.20. I don't know if it will repeat though. So far, it's been following this quite nicely. We are a bit above it now, though. You can see if we follow it. If you had followed it perfectly, we would have retraced at 13 cents. But we went a lot higher, as high as about 15 cents, and we are also continuing longer now. The previous time in 2021, we already started the decline, but for 0 now, it is still climbing. Hey, Corican, welcome. Hey, Vishal, welcome. Tell me about the minimum price. Like the minimum price is about the lowest. It's here. The lowest we can go is, I don't know, what does it mention here in the rainbow chart? 10 cents. Yeah, 10 cents will be the low, according to the rainbow chart here. Hey, Trenton. Always strapped in. Good to see you, man. How are you feeling, Trenton? Are you still bullish? Are you feeling a bit of bearishness because we are not moving as much as yesterday or 2 days before? Or I'm still feeling bullish, but unfortunately, it's not much is happening now. I thought that we would have some continued momentum now. We're still waiting for the new update. We're getting a new update to the Cronos roadmap. Very exciting. Very exciting, at least. So I'm waiting on that one. I think it was promised like a month ago at this point. A month ago, we were promised the roadmap. They probably will, send out a tweet to Marco to see, hey, is it coming anytime soon? Are we getting any updates? Because July is almost over now. July is basically over, and I want that new roadmap. Otherwise, why have a roadmap for 2025 if the year is almost over? Trump does want the US dollar to drop even more. The only thing though, I guess I understand why he wants it for trade. Like if the dollar is cheap, they can trade a lot more. However, for inflation, a low dollar is bad because every time they import something, like they pay a lot of money. So for the inflation, it could be bad. So I don't know if they wanted to drop any more. Trump is mad, by the way. I don't know if you guys follow him on I think on Twitter, but on Truth Social, but the man is getting mad about Jerome Powell. Absolutely mad. This is still holding nicely. I like it. Me like it. I like it. Have you heard about the idea that only coins that are 6 months old on Coinbase get an ETF? I've heard it, Radoslav. It was actually not ETFs, but ETPs. And it doesn't make total sense, of course. It does. The requirement cannot be like, hey, if it's live, if this ETF is tradable on company X, then it's going to be allowed to be listed on a different exchange. That argument makes no sense. I think maybe like an example is like, hey, we got a few tokens trading here on Coinbase. But the rule can't be like, hey, it has to trade 6 months on Coinbase, otherwise it can't be accepted. That would be crazy, of course. You have to take a look at, okay, this is the requirement, the ETF or the product needs to be this and this and this. What is interesting though, I read this news about the requirements for an ETF to get approved in September, October, by the way. They're talking about a standard framework. Anything will get approved if it's good, but they're working on a standard framework. And the standard framework, for example, requires 85% to be redeemable. 85% of the ETF has to be redeemable at any point. So if anyone requires their money back, they can actually give it. However, for the Crow ETF specifically, it's not entirely possible because they are mentioning in the ETF request, in the ETF filing, that they want to stake about 50%. 50% of the ETF should be staked. I do believe, though, there are a few things. Let me talk about this a bit more. It's a good subject. Thanks for bringing it up, Radoslav. Can I make this a bit more easy? Let me just draw it out here. So there are two things we need. There are two things we still need for the ETF. We need to get the S1. And we also need to get the, I need to say it correctly, I think it is S194-B. Those two things need to get approved. S1 is the generic ETF approval. They say, okay, the ETF is going to be like this, it's going to do this and this and this. But the S1 or the S194, that is for the stock exchange. So for example, for the New York Stock Exchange, I think also for the CBOE. So this is the ETF. We need it for that one. Typically though, what happens is the SEC, they will check both at the same time. They will check the S1 form and also the S194-B at the same time to see, hey, is this package okay? Can we list this ETF as is on the New York Stock Exchange or on the different, I don't know what it stands for, CBOE. I've read it a few times. The thing is though, the CRO token has this one. So we got the S1, but we didn't get the filing yet for the S194-B. So this is still not happening. Now the question comes, of course, why haven't we heard anything about this? Still one big question mark. No amendments, no extension. Potentially because we haven't heard anything about this yet. The SEC wants to get both, otherwise they don't do it. Of course, it is summertime. Of course, the SEC gets many requests, so maybe you just haven't had any time yet. Take a look at the S194. But I think soon we will get this listing. And if we'll get this listing, I do believe it will be a bullish catalyst. Oh, the boats. Boats? Is Chaotic back? Is Chaotic talking about boats again? I was looking up the barge you guys were talking about. Like, total Pirates of the Caribbean. Total Pirates of the Caribbean today. But yeah, so basically, guys, I know my my writing is bad. We're waiting on this. We're waiting on that S194. We're waiting on this. That needs to happen. And an issue could be, a potential issue for the S1 could be, hey, it's staked. You can stake it, guys, but maybe the percentage is a bit too high. Maybe they can say, well, we only want you to do 85% non-staked, and we have like 15% staked. So you still have a bit of revenue coming in passively, but you also have the redeemable part of the ETF. Smash the 23rd like. 23, guys. Rookie numbers, legend. Don't forget, guys, to hit the like button. Strap in for more. The market for in-person jobs is also dipping in America, but at least I invested the dip, by the dip. Yeah, that's maybe one of the things that are bullish, so to say. The SEC, or not the SEC, the Fed has a dual mandate. They need to help the job market and they need to battle inflation. If the job market is getting ruined by AI and less investments by companies, they are more likely to actually reduce the interest rates. So far, though, what I've heard, I haven't seen any numbers yet. Has the job market truly went down? I think tomorrow we'll get the exact data. On Friday, we'll get the exact data regarding the job market, non-farm, farm jobs as well. Interesting, though. John, welcome. The US government needs to roll over a big pile of debt this year, so high interest rates will also mean more dollars being added to the market to cover the debt. Ay. Somebody added me to a group chat on X. Don't do that, guys. Don't add me to a group chat. Don't add me to a group chat. Strapped in, I was at work doing the important stuff as always. Good to see you, dude. Good to see you. Crow is literally not making any moves. It's just stuck here now at about 14.23. Having said that, at this exact moment, we do see Bitcoin. Bitcoin has now officially went below 117k. Bitcoin is now below 117k. That's somewhat fearful for the market. We're still stuck though in this range. You can see the dip here was very short-lived. Very short-lived. Very short-lived for Crow. For Bitcoin, I mean. What happened to the music, by the way? Give me one sec, ladies and gentlemen. If you have any questions, by the way, don't forget to ask them. I will try to answer them as well. Okay, music should be back. It's very soft, but, you know, good synthwave music. Beat is shorting Omni currently. It's pulling back after a 110% climb. Crazy. 110%. That's a crazy move. Doubling the market cap in a day. Yeah, that happens often. You get one big climb, but if the market then doesn't continue to rally with you. Ooh, okay. So Bitcoin is going down quite rapidly. And it's really interesting. If Bitcoin goes down like 1%, like altcoins can easily dip a lot more. But so far, Cronos likes this little ledge here. Likes to hold on. Let's see. Bitcoin dominance, though, it continues bouncing back up, and I don't like the look of it. Bitcoin dominance is the chart that checks basically every chart versus Bitcoin, all the altcoins versus Bitcoin, and well, it is moving up again. It is moving up again. Not like what we've seen here. It was here a very quick retrace. We dumped down and we went back up basically at the same point within 2 weeks. So 2 weeks down, 2 weeks up. It is going a lot slower, so it is showing the strength of altcoins still. A couple days ago, I had the first unlock of the locked crow to get what it's worth over the new lock. I had first to unlock the locked crow. I don't... What did you have to lock again? What did you have to lock again, Mr. Bjorn? I see more and more people talk about Cronos. What are they talking about? Finally discovering the power of crypto. Will Crow have its run this year or in 2026? What do you think? Gold Pony, good question. The $1 million question, isn't it? Well, we talked about this in length in different videos, but we have a timeline. I think it's this one. Yeah, it's this one. So far, it has been beautifully following our timeline here. We have our timeline based on the halving, so I do believe still we have cycles. I still do believe we have those cycles, and they are still in play. We had our bull start here for Bitcoin. We have had our Crow bull run start as well. And now we do have expectations here of the Crow all-time high in, I would say, the October timeframe. So I do believe this year. I do believe this year. That also makes sense. We have been following the cycle quite closely so far. Also on the Crow chart. So here you can see what we have done so far. 2 waves here and 1 big move up to about 14 cents. And then, well, that's basically where we are now. And from this point onward, it also went very quickly. I think from this point onward, like, take a look at the weeks. How many weeks are left? Let's say we are here. Let's say we are here at this point in time. It's only about 17 weeks. 17 weeks. Maybe we're here just before the red candle. 20 weeks. About 20 weeks before we go to the top. I do like this comparison here. We are, I think, in a very similar situation. Very, very similar situation. So to me, it's 2025, not 2026. But let's see. Bitcoin now is still retracing. Probably going down towards this level here. The mid 116,000s. VG bearish. Next week we go down. I don't know. Like, everyone is on my timeline, everyone is kind of switching from bull to bear now, like short term, very short term. And the more I hear people say that, the more bullish I get. It's kind of crazy, but on the other end, I do believe like a 30% dip would be kind of healthy. Let's see though. Like, if Crow would blow up in May 2026, it would catch many people off guard. Yeah, true. I would be catched off guard. Caught off guard. Yeah. Hey, but good to see you, Gold Pony. Oh, chaotic. You're babysitting. It is baby sleep time now. We have had Sesame Street, so it's time for charts and cool conversation about boats. Oh, VDG is getting bearish and he will tune in back next week again. Oh, interesting, by the way. As we're speaking, the DXY has crossed 100 again. The dollar is right now moving up. It is moving up. Very interesting. So the boat is not a barge, it's a yacht. Okay. Coin Baron, what are your picks for next cycle? What are your picks, Karl? Like, I think the tokens for next cycle have not been made yet. I don't think, for example, that the hype token is going to survive another cycle. I don't think it will. The hype token is new. And I think we'll get something similar to hype. Like we'll get like a hype 2.0. Hype has been one of the best performers so far though. And I do believe, like with Pengu. Pengu's also new. Pengu token has been doing crazy good. Pepe has been doing crazy good as well. What are my tokens? Well, picks. Bitcoin, Ethereum are still very safe. Crow. I don't know. Crow. I have to wait. I have to wait for Crow. I need to see a bit more how they're gonna do the burn. You guys haven't watched the video yet. I did make a video about the major catalyst, so I do believe we'll have some major catalysts along the way. Check out the video. It's from yesterday. It's called 3 Major Catalysts. I do believe that we'll have like one here that brings us to 20 cents, one here that brings us to like 40 cents, and maybe one here that will bring us to like also the $1 level. So I do believe that we'll get like this burn announcement and people are like, whoa, burns? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Like BNB like burns, and the BNB like burns would be crazy good for Crow. Crazy good. But let's see. Let's see. Not lags, okay. Phil G, welcome. Strap in, my dude. Strap in. Maxime as well, welcome. Yeah, Marty, it does feel like it's stuck at 14, isn't it? On the other hand, though, I think it's good. Guys, being stuck at 14 cents means we're building support. We're building very good support at about the 14 cent level. And that's also what I would like to remind you guys. Like, it's... things are happening this week, but it's like a minor rat week so far. A very minor rat week. Where we are coming from, like 10 cents, 8 cents. It's crazy to see how well things are going. And I like this volatility. I truly like what we're seeing now regarding volatility. It means there is also volume. We see a lot of volume interest in the CRO token. And in the end, though, the volume is also what will drive, I do believe, also next leg up. So we need volume like this. It does look crazy though, like all these big candles, like 10% up, 10% down, 10% up. It is scary, but zoom out, like nothing really happened. We're still in this uptrend. I've tried to keep my focus, so not, you know, to just touch some grass, enjoy life, playing the patient game. And I think that's right. It's exactly what you got to do now. Exactly what you got to do now. You should add the 5 EMA indicator to your chart. The 5? I like the 21. But what's the 5? Let me check what the 5 does. The 5. So this is not the EMA, this is the SMA. Let me bring up the EMA then. Is Pete up to something here? EMA, exponential moving averages. Let's add them. EMA 5. Let's go. Oh, we are right there. Okay, so the EMA, guys, the moving average exponential is right at about 14 cents. 14.20, 14.21. So right where we are now. Right where we are now. Not too bad, not too bad. Also, Bitcoin is kind of holding here. Bitcoin is kind of holding quite nicely. I might actually have to draw this one a bit up. Is this the case? Nah. It's like this, isn't it? Yeah. Not too bad, Bitcoin. Not too bad. If you can bounce from this point onward, I'm getting even a bit bullish. Like, it is possible, guys. Like, we are waiting now. People are bearish. If people are bearish, it can, like, explode. It can actually... it's going to explode at some point. Like, I do expect, again, as mentioned earlier, about 135, 136. And we are already like in the upper range here. So it can explode like any minute now. But what we could have like is one final dip. So that's also why I am a bit careful now with like predicting things. Like, it had one final dip below, like 5% down, and then it made that move to the upside. If you have something similar here, we go down about 3%, and then we have a move higher. Wouldn't really be that strange to see. What do you think the next all-time high for Bitcoin is? 135. It's not the next all-time high. Oh, that's a good question actually. The next all-time. Oh wait, I made a mistake. No, I made a little mistake. It seems. So what I have here, guys, we see this flag pattern, and you can see that the flag has a pole. You can copy the pole and bring it out to the breakout point, and I do believe it's going to break out somewhere here. And if you take a look then at the target of the breakout pool, it will bring you to 135k. Not saying it's the peak, but at least that will be the next in line. It could go down a bit more though. Let's say we're gonna wait. This flag is going to play out longer, potentially, right? The flag is going down as well, so therefore we can go down a few thousand. So then maybe we're talking about 133 or 132. But around 134, 130 plus at least. We have to take a look though where it's going to end. Love the positivity. Welcome, Luca. I'm not that crazy. I'm just crazy in love with Crow, I think, sometimes. Just sometimes. You gotta love though what you do, don't you? If you don't love what you do, you don't enjoy life. For anyone, by the way, wondering, guys, I've been making content about Crow now for, let's say, about 4 years. About 4, maybe even 5, close to 5 years. I wouldn't be here if I wasn't convicted of how well it's going to do. Like, my bags, I think I'm 80% into Crow. Like, it's not all in, it's like 90% all in. Or, well, not only Crow, but also the Cronos ecosystem. So I do have, for example, some Lion token. And Lion token is also one of my meme conviction plays / utility plays. I have been to so many great avenues thanks to the loaded lines. I think it's going to be potentially one of the best memes on the Cronos chain. Like Pengu. Like Pengu, it's a bit of a meme, but also getting more like utility. Pengu just announced their Game Boy. They have got a special limited edition Game Boy. So every time you buy the Pengu Game Boy, they're going to burn a bit of Pengu. Buy back and burn. Something similar like that is going to happen also with the loaded lines, but not with Game Boys. The loaded lines are going to sell merch, like t-shirts or like jackets or maybe pants. I don't know what. They want to build this whole streetwear brand with the loaded lines. They got some good stuff already, but they want to do more. The more stuff they sell, the more they can buy back and burn as well. It's a long-term play though. Going to be a long-term play. They do have a game as well. I like games. Hypothetically, can Crypto.com use the 70 billion minted tokens to liquidate us? Not yet, but they can use 5 billion tokens to liquidate us. In theory, they can in the end, circa. Like, but makes no sense. If they want to sell now, they could make like, I think like a few $1 billion of profit. So it doesn't make any sense why they would do that. So yes, hypothetically, yes. Like, but they can also, yeah, they can pull the plug on the Cronos chain. They can pull the plug on Crypto.com. They can steal everyone's money. They can do all of that, like hypothetically. I think it would be better to rob everyone of their money instead of, you know, just robbing the CRO token. I do see the daily chart here on the Assetwatch. I think you get a great feeling for the chart when you see it every day. Cronos is doing very well in the past week. I love to see that. Yeah, I've been seeing as well in a few videos. Then it's like 14 cents. Then it's like 14.50. Then it's like 13.90. It's like going up consistently though. The overall trend is up, and you can also see that in the videos. Like it's always in the background. So when you guys see a video and like, oh yeah, I made this video at this exact point in time regarding price. So it's also interesting. The conviction plays for SK are Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Tron, and BNB. Interesting that Crow's in there. You do say BNB, but no Crow. It's kind of sad. Hey, Rosanova, welcome. Good to see you, dude. Good to see you. Bitcoin Cash. Is Bitcoin Cash still a thing? I was a bit too early. Guys, I was a bit too early now. Bitcoin is still dumping. Is it making this big move to the downside? It's getting close to 16.5. If it's going to 16.5, we do also see that Cronos is kind of dumping now. But hey, it's still not the end of the week. We have a few more days left. We have a few more hours left also for the weekly, for the daily close. So it's the calm before the storm. Overall though, we do see now that Bitcoin is still within this range. Bitcoin is still just moving up and down, up and down, up and down. And this range is also becoming smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. But okay. It is already a few minutes past 10, guys. So I'm going to close it off now. I'm going to close it off. I'm not like the most energetic today. A bit tired. So I am working though in a new video. I'm working on a new video. So it's going to be cool. I want to talk about a strategic reserve because so many questions about the strategic reserve left. So many questions. So let's try to end that for once and for all. Probably won't succeed, but let's see how far I can get at least. And for members first, I'm going to work on the Ruby Red card review this weekend. And I'm going to work... Yes, I've said this a few times, but I'm working now on the final Coin Baron price prediction of 2025. Like one number, my target, like my number one target for 2025. So it's coming soon. Members first. I think later in August it will go live to the other members as well, to the non-members or whatever. Having said that, guys, enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy your day. Enjoy the charts. Enjoy Crow. Take some profit if you want, or buy some more in the dip, of course. Do your own research. Hit the like button, strap in for more, and we'll see you on Sunday. Have a good one, guys. Enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. Why does the music keep stopping?